Didn't quite finish yesterday doing all the stuff with the engine. Pretty much got all the wiring done. I installed the exhaust. That was a pain in the butt. It's already tight in there, and with the snorkels and stuff it makes it a little bit tighter, so that took most of my time. But now I'm just gonna finish up doing little things. I might install the air box and maybe the carburetor, so I can fill it up with oil and see if it cranks. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, so I can see what else I have to do to get it finished. Put the rear fender back. I'm gonna start putting the wiring back so I can put the spark plug in there and see if it cranks. But before that, I think I'm gonna clean the clutch, or the primary. Some people call it clutch, but I'm gonna take that off. I've never done one of those, so hopefully I get it done right. I've researched a few things, and they mentioned to use some waterproof grease. You could use the Yamaha stuff, but it's kind of pricey. So I googled a few options, and they came up with using a grease is a lot cheaper. I think. Well, what I picked up is it's called Coastal, and it's a high temperature grease. So I'm gonna put those on the sheaves, and they recommend using about a teaspoon on each. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off and see what we can do to get it cleaned up and in good order, so I can put the belt back. Now I have it off, and I'm gonna unscrew all these Phillips screws so I can get inside and change the grease. To get the bolt, I used a 22mm socket and a air ratchet, or a torque ratchet, so it just makes it a little bit easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew these and see what we have. Looks pretty nasty. I'm sure it needed a re-greasing. May need a new seal as well. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it's full of dirt and gunk. So I'm glad I got to them in time. I'm gonna take them out in the same order that I took them off, so I'm gonna make a mental note, and I'm gonna write it in a piece of paper. That way I can, if they're different weights, they go exactly in the same place. So first I'm gonna clean it off as best as I can, and then I'm gonna worry about greasing them and putting it back together. Just to give you an idea of how bad it was, here's a better look at the primary. It's like full of thick, muddy grease. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that off. I already cleaned all the other parts, so as soon as I have this clean, I'm gonna scuff this up a little bit, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, got it all cleaned. Looks a lot better. Still have a little stuff in there, but I'm just gonna get a rag and just clean it off. Now I'm gonna scuff this up a little bit, and it's really easy. All you need is pretty much some WD-40. Spray a little bit on there, and then you get a Scotch-Brite pad, and then you just kind of scuff it a little bit. You can see all the dirt and stuff coming out of it. Once you're done doing that, you can take a bottle of brake cleaner, spray it on there and clean it off, and it'll look a lot cleaner. So I'm gonna go ahead and everything up. Right, I didn't put a bunch of grease, I just put the recommended grease amount, and they said about a tablespoon of grease. So now I'm just gonna start putting everything back together just like I took it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that started. I already got the screw started, but it's a good idea that when you screw it back, you do a crisscross pattern. That way it evenly goes down and you don't get no warpage, and it doesn't mess up your seal or anything. I'm starting to put it back together. So first I'm going to install the belt. I do have a new one on the way, but I want to make sure it cranks, so I'm gonna put the old one for now. Make sure you put the front arrow going towards your steering wheel. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on now. Now you put your primary in. Now you have to make sure it catches all the teeth, and you should see a few teeth in the front. So if you don't see those little teeth, don't install it. Take it apart and see what's going on, because you should see the grooves in front of it a little bit. And after you do see them, you just put the washer and nut back and you tighten it to the specified see if it starts, and if it does, I'm gonna put the wheels and see if it goes forward. So let's go ahead and try to fire this baby up. Well, it fires. That's a good thing. I'm gonna play around with it some more. Put the wheels make sure it stays on just to give me an idea of what it's going to look like. It goes forward. Put the gas tank up there just to put gas in the car so I can crank it on. And I took it forward for a little bit, not too fast because I still have some loose bolts. And I'm having problems with this left axle. It's leaking differential fluid. I changed both seals. It was doing it before, that's why I got new seals, but whenever I was painting stuff, I noticed that this axle is a tad bigger than the other one. If you look from the back, I don't know if you can see, but one kind of angles down versus the other one just kind of goes straight. So I'm gonna figure out if maybe I need to get a new axle. I know they're Gorilla axles, so I'm gonna check into that because I don't want to have that oil leak.